Tweeter writes in, Roy swapped in for Whitty would be an instant upgrade and would solidify your lineup for years to come. Good mix of vets and new talent. Whitty is an obvious bust. Divisive locker room presence. Bad teammate.
Is that guy?
Somebody else writes in, I heard that some people watch or listen to the Le Batard Show to get sports information and commentary. What a concept.
You don't get the show.
F1 week, Stugotz.
Yep.
It's in Miami. Miami is not prepared for this. Mike Ryan has gone maximum Miami schmoozer.
Of course he has.
Jessica is soliciting gifts from sponsors.
This has nothing to do with the Grand Prix. Please do not besmirch the name of Formula One, because I simply said on the show one time I was interested in the product that Dyson offers called the Airwrap. And then I showed up at work today. I mean, I'm maybe twice, Woody, once or twice. Like I didn't talk about it a lot. And I showed up at work today with a big box addressed to me from Dyson, and it was an Airwrap, Dan. They sent me an Airwrap.
You have learned what Kornheiser learned very early, which is just say things at a microphone and you get free stuff. You've learned it a little too early.
This is life-changing. Like, my life has changed.
Yep.
My hair from now on is finally going to look good.
Anything else you want? Just say it. I mean.
Would you like some CBD MD?
Oh, I love those. Yeah.
One of those.
Are those the gummies?
Yeah, these are the gummies.
I would drive a Mercedes S-Series.
Jessica has been waiting for this week in Miami for a good long time, and so
she's been here a year. I mean,
it was my 1-year anniversary last year, Dan. Everyone's saying happy anniversary to me except you. You also didn't wish me a happy birthday on Sunday.
Okay.
Wow.
Bit of resentment there for the young the young person who has gotten to the free things faster than Kornheiser.
Very young.
Mike Ryan has welcomed into the shipping containers. One of the reasons that he went to New York is to sign a new correspondent who is also very excited for Miami specifically being around Formula One. Our Meadowlark correspondent throughout the next week is going to be Formula Juan.
Yeah, baby. I love the Grand Prix. Let's go. Broom, broom, baby. Oh, I just got back from Kiki. What's up? Can't wait for the races. I got all my favorite racers out there. We got Lewis Hamilton, Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Kygo, Tiesto, Sergio Perez, Post Malone. I'm so excited about the races, man. My God. Yesterday, I was watching that Netflix series a lot. And I also bleached my asshole, so I'm like open for business. And I'm just ready to party, you know? Like, I love motorsports. It is my passion in life. And I got 2 tickets to Kaytranada. So there's that.
What does that have to do with anything?
This is what Miami's going to do with this thing.
It's like
just let him go. I mean,
the cars are loud, and I'm on loud. Like, all of it is just like peak Miami. The colors are vibrant, and I'm vibing. I got to bring 7 girls just to get myself in a door. I fucking love the races, man.
What's your
Grand Prix, baby?
What's your favorite Formula One team?
Vuv. They got a team, right? Move. They got a team.
We are going to have a lot of this. Miami does this kind of thing well. It's a big, sloppy, loud mess that we can, a shiny thing that we can arrive at.
Bro, my parking is 6.5 miles away. How the hell am I going to get to this thing? Oh, my God.
Do we do it well?
Do we Uber, bro? Do I Uber?
We do this part of it well. The part that Formula Juan is doing, where it's just show me what the Saturday concerts are and show me where it is that I can wander the premises and not notice how loud everything is because I'm on a lot of drugs.
You know that Kygo song? The one that goes... You know the one I'm talking about? Yeah, it's every song. Whatever. I love that song. It's so good, man. Dude, there are 25,000 ticket holders out of the 75 are going to think that they're the single most important person at this event. And this is my scene, bro. I'm not going to watch a single second of the races. I'll tell you right now. This girl next to me, she just says chicane every once in a while. I'm like, whatever, bro. Show me where the bottles are at. And I'm in a paddock. Jamie XX is doing a set in there. Apparently, the cars are pretty loud, which we're going to have to ask them to tone that down just a little bit. Maybe go a little slower.
The cars.
I wonder if anyone...
maybe shift it into around 85, maybe like Palmetto Expressway speed limits. Like, that'll be all right. You're just there so I can get this bottle and listen to Jamie and, go from there to the after party and then the after party. Yo, Dixon's at Space on Monday. You want to go? He starts at 7 a.m. Monday. 7 a.m. Monday. You've never seen Dixon? Oh, dog, take you to church.
Formula Juan
7 a.m.
does have to be rat-a-tat-tat cocaine at all times because he's just going from set to set. I don't think they have...
I got Beach Grandstand, I got Fountain View, I got Energy Station, I got Hard Rock Paddock. I got every wristband you can possibly imagine, including the ones that say I'm over 21. Just no stress or anything like that. Thank you very much for asking.
I don't think people have considered around this race how loud it is. I don't think the people of Miami understand what is about
those
to
racers,
land.
Those racers are saying the same exact thing about us. Cannot imagine how loud they were.
I talked to Will Manso at the last Heat game, and he was at Imola, where the last Formula One Grand Prix was, and he just kept saying,
"Where's Imola? Is that a club?"
No, it's in Italy, Formula One, and he just kept telling me it's so loud.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
You can't it's one of those where you talk about how big Shaq is, and all you just keep saying is, "Man, he is so big." And it's the same thing about this. You just kept going, "It is so loud." Like earplugs aren't good enough for how loud it is. He told me he was having lunch 2 miles away from the track and still heard the sound of racing.
So I'm going today. Apparently, there's races. Kygo's playing during a race or something.
No, there's no race.
No,
It's just like a tour of the facility.
who cares? I'm just
get
watching.
Who needs a
Kygo.
race?
No, there's no race today.
Then I'm going Friday, which apparently is a practice. I don't know. We go easy. We just do white liquor,
W series
like
on
light
Friday.
clear liquor,
Real
white
race?
tequilas,
Yeah.
and then we pregame. Do we park at West 32 for this? We park at West 32. Is there
No,
a
West 32 is turn 18 of this track.
Turn 8. How many turns are there?
There's a lot of turns.
Why are there so many turns?
Jessica, you've been waiting for this. Congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
1 year anniversary.
Which turn do we turn up?
And happy birthday.
Yeah, I turn up on
Thank
all the
you.
turns, dog.
Did you get my Dyson hair wrap? Sorry.
That was from you?
Yes, it was.
Stu, thank you.
Little birthday presents. A big
That was
birthday
sweet.
for you.
Finally, someone listens to me around here and gets me what I want.
Yep.
Stugotz, the only person who has my back.
Thank you.
Which part of this weekend are you looking forward to and have
DJ
you been
Laz,
looking
3
forward to?
o'clock.
I'm done talking
Friday.
to you, Formula Juan. I've had enough of you so far.
They got Laz?
Yeah, they got
Oh, my
DJ
God.
Laz. Curtain jerking, my boy. They got my boy curtain jerking out there. It's a little sad, but it's a little tip of the cap to the Miami. I don't know why Formula One became Formula Zaz,
The
but
pimp with the limp. I mean,
It's going to be awesome. Dan, I'm really excited for what's already begun, which is now the Formula One drivers ingratiating themselves into Miami culture. Max Verstappen and Checo Perez throwing the first pitch today at the Marlins game. Yesterday was Charles Leclerc. There's already I've seen photoshops of the drivers at the beach. Like they're all gonna be part of Miami culture. Like they are gonna go to the beach, Billy, when they get here. But they started arriving yesterday. And so now we're going to start seeing them going to George Russell was at the Heat game the other night. We're going to start seeing them going to events, getting used to how we do things around here in Miami, maybe drinking some cafecito. So I'm excited to see how this goes because they've never had an F1 race here in Miami. A lot of these drivers have never even been to Miami before. They do some videos sometimes. Yeah, like most the drivers come from all over the world, Billy. They did a video yesterday on the F1 account where they asked all the drivers what city the Red Sox play in. None of them guessed it right.
Love
so like
that.
there's already like a US culture shock thing that's gonna happen. And then the Miami is just adding a whole nother layer to it. Cause like our friend here, Mike, Formula One.
You
I'm
could
not
also call
sure
me
if
the
I can
Grand
laugh
Prix.
at that character.
yeah.
As he explained, we do things a little differently here in
Yeah,
Miami. So
Miami
it's gonna
is
be a crazy week.
Miami is so fake just normally, and now it's going to be extra fake, and I'm just going to be eating it all up. Hell, our beach is fake at the track. I love all of it.
I've been thinking about that because they have fountains at Sun Life Stadium, Hard Rock, whatever it's called. Why didn't they just make like a little cement wall and put water in there if they're going to have the fake boats there? The boats are there. Just fill it like a foot deep in water.
Well,
They dug the trench, but their engineers couldn't actually clear it because they didn't think it was sound, and they didn't want to run the risk of flooding the track.
Build up. You build up. Make like a 2-foot wall, and then you just pour some water in there, then you knock it down. Get some cinder blocks. Go to Home Depot. It's not that hard.
It's like the only engineers in Florida who couldn't engineer a water feature. Come on, guys. Like we have
I know a
fake
guy.
water all over the place down here.
I know someone that could have made a 2-foot pool in 2 weeks. Like, get out of here.
We all know a guy, Billy.
I can't imagine that Billy wants to be around any of this noise.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm still going to hear it from my house in Westchester. By the way, is that like a humble brag from Will Manso saying, like, I was in whatever, Lululemon, wherever it was, and I was 2 miles away
Imola?
and could still hear it? If you were there, why weren't you watching?
That's a great question. Why are you having lunch 2 miles away
Exactly.
from the track, Will, whoever you are? I don't even know who that is.
Whoa,
What are you
Wow.
doing?
Careful.
He's a
Jessica,
South Florida
Jessica,
legend,
Very
you've been here a
careful.
year and you're
That
like,
is
this
here.
is how we do it in Miami, and who the hell is
That dude-
Will Manson?
too
That
far.
dude he is legacy media in South Florida.
That's right. You
It's
tell him.
because of him that we found that Notre Dame coach talking shit about the turnover chain because he's the one that leaked it.
Well, then why haven't you ever done an impression of that guy? Like, I know all these other Miami people that you do voices. You don't
Will
do this
Manso
guy.
kind of sounds like Francis Suarez light.
No one would dare make fun of Will Manso is why no one's done a Will Manso impression. That's why.
Well, you're the one who brings up the question, Billy. Why is he having lunch 2 miles away if he goes all the way to Italy for a race and then he's listening to it from some cafe somewhere?
It's during like P2. Like, you know.
He's not watching P2. Not a real fan. I'm going to be at P2.
What's P2? Is that a after party? Yo, hook it up.
Are you ready, Mike, for 3 days of that noise? Because I cannot explain to you. I don't think there's anything louder we do in sports, period, and not anything close to it.
I got the Bose noise-canceling headphones that I'm bringing. The Paddock's going to have the top-of-the-line noise reducers, and all of that shit doesn't matter when you're doing Molly with Jared Leto.
Mm-hmm.
Billy, why did I hear you talking to Stugotz about J.J. Watt yesterday? What was the source of J.J. Watt news, J.J. Watt conversation? What was it that was interesting to you about J.J. Watt?
I think that Stugotz and I have done this thing now where we're just kind of consulting each other to see how we feel about people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we might be J.J. Watt guys now. I know that we announced a couple days ago that we are now Joe Madden guys.
Yeah.
I think we might have become J.J. Watt guys, Dan, and I'm going to tell you why. So, you know how Stugotz a couple years ago had that baseball card of himself, and people will send them here, and they asked for him to sign them, and some got signed and sent back, and others are just still here in the studio, and those people lost those cards forever. So, our friend Darren Ravel, is he our friend? Darren Ravel, he had one of those cards, and I guess it was in 2015, and there's an autographed version of the card. And then a company that I guess is like an auction house or something said there was a final sale price and a record, an all-time record for any Darren Ravel card. It sold for $570, a Darren Ravel baseball card autographed by Darren Ravel, to which J.J. Watt, Darren Ravel hasn't publicized that, or at least not that I saw. J.J. Watt retweeted that and said, "Congratulations on the purchase, Darren Ravel." Implying that Darren Ravel bought his own card. Get it?
That's
Because
right.
Darren
It's
Ravel
great,
likes
yeah.
Darren Ravel.
So JJ's really
yeah.
turning a corner. Like he is, he reached out to me on Twitter. He is now making fun of Ravel.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm starting to like this
He's
guy.
pushing all the right buttons, it would appear. Yeah.
He could just get a sack.
I mean, that's
right.
yeah.
The button is just at Stugotz 790. It's the only button that he pressed for Stugotz to all of a sudden be like, hey, this guy's not so bad. He
Well,
gave me attention.
No,
Easy,
and he
that's
went
my
after
guy,
Ravel.
JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say. I mean, I will defend JJ Watt better than I defended Will Manso. So just be very careful. No one's coming after our JJ.
Mike, would you get us the sound from Stupidity that Billy put together of Jazz Chisholm on with Stugotz? Because this is all a play to get J.J. Watt on Stupidity. Mike Ryan is disgusted by how quickly
I
after,
hadn't even considered that. I mean,
after
wow.
10
Exactly.
years of criticizing J.J. Watt,
TJ
J.J.
Watt,
Watt
maybe.
acknowledges Stugotz
Yep.
and rolls over on his back and has him rub his belly.
The whole Ravel thing too, though. That's a big corner that that he turned right there. But Mike's going to be very happy when J.J. Watt appears on the podcast. He might be disappointed in me now, but there is a long play here, a much larger play, and that larger play, longer play, is to get J.J. on the podcast. You'll be happy.
I can't
play
wait
hard
for
to
that
get.
chuckle fest that you'll have with J.J. Watt, where you totally forget all your takes and you just can't wipe the smile off of your face as he says hello and you lose a lung because you've been fake laughing so much.
Gross.
Cannot wait for that payoff, Stugotz. Sign me up.
What's wrong with
Send
laughter?
it to me before you publish, please. I cannot wait.
What is wrong with a little laughter? You need some in your life. You really do.
What's
Just
wrong
start
with,
laughing a little bit.
What's wrong with getting together with people that you had past differences with?
Exactly.
What's wrong with growth?
Trying to unify, Mike.
Exactly. JJ comes on, he apologizes for all he's done to Stugotz, and we move on. Turn the other cheek.
That's not how that's going to go. It's going to be Stugotz apologizing, moving on, not at all having 1 ounce of integrity, and just laughing at every word that J.J. Watt
But
said.
how about the game of Watt or not at the end? I mean,
I am writing that one. That's a game.
That's a good game. That's a good game. It's a good game.
Billy, what is the sound of Jazz Chisholm on Stupidity? Do we need any backstory here?
So Jazz is on Stupidity. It comes out today. And, we talked to him about everything that you'd expect us to talk to him about, like what animals he's afraid of eating him.
It's just physically not possible for me to beat a lion in a fight. It's never happened.
What about like a
Never
baby
happened.
lion?
Never happened.
Really?
Because if they lick me, they can kill me at that point.
Right.
If you didn't know that.
Lions can kill you by licking you?
What? They can lick your skin off your bone.
I didn't know that.
you didn't?
No.
If they want
Everyone
to.
does.
You didn't know that.
Yes, I did.
Their tongue is like very sharp. Like it's actually like just like teeth.
Sandpaper, but like
What?
to the nth degree.
No, you're making that up. The three of you got together and you decided to talk about this before to trick me.
Bro, trust me, bro. I'm gonna tell you this for real. Like I do my study on animals. And
Really?
like my favorite animals are the ones that I'm most afraid of getting eaten by.
Why? What about like puppies? You don't like puppies?
I mean, they're not my top 5.
Right.
What's your
But I
top
love
5
my-
animals?
Give us top
Okay.
5
I got
animals.
dogs.
This is very exciting.
Top 5
I got
animals.
Everyone, listen, everyone slow down and let
Yeah,
Chaz
a lot
give us
of
his
stuff
top
is
5
going on
animals.
here.
Okay,
Yeah,
everyone
hold
slow
on a
down.
second.
MLB the show. We'll get back to it in a second. Top 5 animals. Here we go.
Now you have to listen to find out the
Ah,
top 5
nice.
animals you're
Bill.
afraid to get
Nice,
eaten by.
nice
Yeah.
tease.
Dan was on the edge of his seat. He was like, all right, here we go.
I-
Top 5 animals. But then
You don't know.
You're going to have to subscribe
listen
to
to
Stupidity.
Stupidity.
No way to know.
Follow the feed on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wait, can a lion really lick your skin off?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that?
I
Everyone
mean,
pretended to be an
Stugotz
expert.
is saying that he knows it still, as if Stugotz hasn't listened to
I still haven't looked
a
it up.
Ron
I mean-
McGill segment in 10 years. He's always calling up things on his computer and asking a question that was asked last week. Stugotz does not have any information about the animal kingdom, even though we force feed him it weekly.
Did you know that? Is that true? Still
I
don't
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I knew
I
it,
still
yeah.
don't know if that's true.
I'm looking this up because he could have lied to us the whole time. Yeah, like your skin, that's a really powerful
He's not
lick.
lying. Trust me.
I don't.
Why would you ever trust Stugotz about whether someone was lying or not? You throw in the trust me as if that helps at all.
It hurts my case.
I mean,
I'm never saying it
I'd
again.
say that most people who say trust me or need to say trust me are not people to be trusted. Put it on the poll
Well,
at
thank you.
LeBatard Show. If someone says trust me,
Do you trust him?
do you trust them less? Whittingham, are you going to be a just puddle of ash and tired dust by the end of this Grand Prix? What this week is going to do to you bouncing between soccer games?
Don't put that pile of ash around me. I may snort it.
Oh, wow, this tongue.
Yeah, so I was offered the chance to go to the Panthers game last night, and I said no because I can't do this every day.
Wow.
I can't do Heat, Panthers, Formula One on Friday, Inter Miami game on Saturday, Formula One race on Sunday, mix in a Mother's Day in there. It's too much.
Yeah.
This week, it's
a big week.
just
Yeah.
too much. So I decided hanging out with the ESPN2 crew for a little Panthers game at home. I needed the R&R. It was a tough one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goldie and Randy Moeller insulted.
Mix in a little Mother's Day.
Mother's
Yeah.
Day can be any day, though, Woody. Like
Yeah,
that,
it
you
should
can't
be
use
every
that.
day.
Thank you, Billy. It should be
Exactly
every
right.
day.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot of like great reception. There was a lot of work that needed to be done before, hey, Mom, sorry, Mother's Day, I'm going to a Formula One race. I just took this. I took up this interest 4 months ago. Sorry, I'm missing out on Mother's Day.
My mom would totally understand. She understands that sports are more important than anything else.
Right.
She's the reason I'm a sports fan. Both my parents are diehard sports fans. If I said, Mom, happy Mother's Day, but you're not going to see or hear from me today. In fact, the next 3 days, this whole weekend, I don't exist. You can follow me on social media if you want to see what I'm up to, but we're not going to talk to each other. She would understand, Woody.
Yeah, Mom, Esteban Ocon, more important than you are. Sorry.
Yeah, he is.
It's a good
This
mom.
weekend.
Guillermo, put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Would your mom be okay with you missing Mother's Day because you were going to an F1 race?
You can take care of your mom, though. If she wants 2 passes to go see Disclosure at the Space Terrace, I got her, dog.
It's kind of selfish for all the moms that don't want their kids to go to see F1, right? I mean, it's only here. This is the
Take
first
mom
time
to the race,
ever.
though.
Yeah,
I
it's the
mean,
first time ever that
yeah.
it's here. And Mother's Day's every day, so like you need an extra
Take
day.
mom to the race.
I mean,
These are
why not?
$10,000 tickets.
I'd-
guys.
If you loved your mom, you'd spend
Exactly.
it.
Take my wife
Save
to the
up.
races.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not going to be with her, but she's going to the beach grandstand. I'll catch her after the paddock.
She's with some other guy.
Yeah.
I'm at
Hey,
a,
like I said, everything's on the table.
I'm at a
But if it's on the table, I will snort it.
We get it.
We'll get to the allegations of cowardice surrounding Tony in a moment, because now he's at the edge of jumping out of an airplane, and Whittingham has accused him of doing some dancing here to avoid what is now a commitment that my wife has made to do helicopter flips, and Whittingham has made to indeed conquer his fears, because he's terrified of jumping out of an airplane. Billy, why are you shaking your head on this?
No one forced them. Like they both want to do these things. Tony though is a giant coward and does not want to do it. And he keeps saying he really wants to do it, but is really making no effort to rearrange things.
No, I
it
can't
happen.
rearrange things. It's fight week, Dano. UFC 274. I've got the strawweight champion, Rose Namajunas, at 1 o'clock on Thursday. Wow. If you could promise me that I can jump out of an airplane and then be at home in time to interview Rose, can't do that. The Wi-Fi's bad up there.
You don't know that.
If I can be at home by 12:45, I do it. But the problem is I can't. You can't just take it.
Do it from anywhere.
No, I can't.
You could do it. You could do it from the airport lobby. You could do it from anywhere.
What Tamiami Airport?
Yeah.
What lobby?
Yeah, whatever building it is. You're not just the.
Have you ever been to Tamiami Airport?
Yeah, you don't just drive up to the
There's
airplane in your car.
37 buildings and there's just nothing
Yeah,
there.
the terminal outside the Burger King.
Exactly.
Oh,
do it in a hangar or go to the Wawa
Woody, you're
across
staying.
the street.
Woody, you're
and do
staying
it.
in a hotel. You've never been down there.
Wawa has great Wi-Fi. Great Wi-Fi.
Tony, my crib is 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
Once you parachute back down to Earth, you can just hop in the car, go to my crib, and interview
How
Rose
long does
there.
it take? How long does it take to skydive? Does anybody know?
Well, I'm still waiting on details, which actually has me fairly concerned because we don't have these details buttoned up.
That's
You're
Red
asking
Bull,
us
though.
It really depends on the shoot.
It is
I mean,
classic
yeah,
Red Bull.
yeah.
Red Bull is just like, hey, let's jump out of a
Also-
plane. Let's do it right now. Sign this waiver.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
It's quick. Skydiving's quicker if you throw the parachute out later.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
there's a process,
Good
right? They
point.
have to put you in the suit. They got to teach you what to do when you jump
Nah.
out of the plane. That takes an hour.
No, you
and then
know,
getting
watch
up
it on
there,
YouTube.
and
So you're
then getting
jump.
down.
You're strapped to somebody that knows
Yeah,
all
they're
that
gonna
stuff.
teach me how to do
Nah.
something.
You're
And
basically in a
probably
baby
early
Bjorn.
In the morning, too.
Mhm.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Baby Bjorn. You're strapped to this guy. There's nothing.
I think
you're
he's
gonna
strapped
do.
to me.
no.
No,
Yeah.
you're strapped to him.
I'd like to be strapped to you.
Hell yeah.
Again, Stugotz.
What happened?
You're riding bottom.
It's not cowardice though. It's just I've got things to
Well,
do.
no, I got to tell you, Tony, whether it's cowardice or not,
I wanna
the-
do it.
The audience expects a
No, you
payoff.
don't. No, you don't.
The audience does expect a payoff, and this will be viewed as weaseling out almost no matter what your excuse. Like the responsibility around here is to the payoff. So I'm not peer pressuring him. I'm just telling you there's no way this one's going to be hard to scrub off.
Window I got was initially 11:30. How long does it take someone to train them to jump out of an airplane. Can't be more than like 5 minutes tops.
Exactly.
You go up as high
jump,
as
you pull
can,
the chute,
jump
right?
down.
Yeah.
I can't tell anyone to do this because, again, I would release the parachute while still in the plane.
I love that.
I would just be in the plane with the parachute
They advise against that.
stuck. I understand, but I would just be terrified.
Might be a problem for the pilots.
The whole thing, I would want none of this.
You remember
none of
that scene in Point Break where Johnny Utah jumps out of the plane without a parachute?
That's how you do it.
And he catches up
Yeah,
to Bodie.
yeah. Tony, I dare you. I mean,
A story that I will not peer pressure you. Stugotz has no such qualms. Tony, I dare you.
He jumped out of the plane with a handgun too, which
He
was
did.
which is great. What's the plan?
such a great movie.
Was there a knife inside of it?
Steve Martin also.
Whittingham, I'm going to ruin the joke because I don't believe they will let you jump out of the airplane the way you wish to jump out of the airplane. I believe that there will be very serious rules that will not allow you to jump out of an airplane in a suit.
Yeah, the suit is packed in the bag. It's ready to go. So if they want to let me jump in a suit, then I'm ready.
Not a tie. You can't do a tie. A tie will hit you or your tandem partner in the face the whole time. You can't wear a tie.
Serious rule. It's Red Bull, Dan. They had someone jump out of a space to Earth. Like,
Right.
he'll be able to go however, does whatever he wants, yeah.
You guys got to do, if you're both tandem jumping at the same time, as the bottom, you have to direct your top to go meet the other person in midair, and then you do the predator handshake in
You
midair.
have to do
and
it. You have to do it. Yeah, thumbs up.
Cheese it
Right,
up.
Yeah.
That's what Bodie and Johnny Utah did.
Correct.
Cheese it up for the cam. It's amazing.
Yes. Okay.
I love you. Like that.
It's amazing Johnny survived that. I mean,
It's incredible.
I just want to see Whittingham's hair without a helmet on just flying through space. Like, it would be amazing if that thing could withstand the air pressure of hurtling towards the earth. No, you might not be wearing a helmet. I Googled it.
Brother, if you hit the ground, the helmet's not going to stop you. There's no need to wear a helmet.
Came across an unclaimed piece of meat in Baja. Turned out to be Rosie.
Stugotz Guns N' Roses drummer Matt Sorum has released some details in his
oh God,
new biography, Double Talk and Jive, out May 10th.
Weird name.
He was invited to John Stamos's wedding, and the story goes sideways and involves him knocking out Dave Coulier. Dave Coulier
really?
Reportedly is the subject of the Alanis Morissette song You Ought to Know, and Dave Coulier was evidently knocked out, according to Matt Sorum, by Matt Sorum. So here's how the story goes. We started doing shots in Dave's kitchen almost as soon as we arrived. After that, we moved on to the cocktails. By that point, I noticed that I couldn't find my girlfriend, so I started looking for her. He said he found her naked in the jacuzzi with 3 random guys. I grab a flower pot and throw it toward the pool, hurling a chair in the same direction. A second or two later, the host of the party, Coulier, comes over and tries to calm me down, but it's like my entire being has been reduced to a mix of anger and despair. The guy didn't even have time to put his hands on my shoulder before I knocked him out. His recollection of details next are hazy. He remembers being thrown out on the street, and he was sweating and he was freezing, and at some point it dawned on him that he too was naked.
Was he one of the 3 guys all along? Coulier stopped drinking. I saw that on social media. He was a bit of a party animal, Uncle Joey. It's just Joey, right? He wasn't an uncle.
No, I think he was Uncle Joey.
Well, I think we casually refer to him as Uncle Joey, but
I think it's one of those people where you're close enough with Dad that you call him Uncle.
He was
you
just,
know?
if you watch the shows back,
Yeah,
Danny just
yeah.
calls him Joey. Everyone just calls him Joey. We assigned Uncle to him, but it was really just Uncle Jesse. He had the blood relation.
Thank you for that clarification.
Excellent breakdown, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
Point Break and Full House. We have got you covered here today.
Also, it was a little confusing because Jesse's parents were really kind of John Travolta character types that owned an insect company, like a fumigation company.
Correct.
But then a couple seasons later, they were off the boat from Greece. It was just very weird.
Oh, that Greek wedding thing.
Yeah,
Remember
the Greek wedding
yes,
where
right, yeah.
Well, because Jesse had a cousin that was really Uncle Jesse with a mole on his face and a mustache.
Right.
And he was like, he was a real handful, bad house guest. And then DJ got married because she married one of Jesse's relatives because she walked around the table 3 times.
The little cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Greek people can be exterminators.
They could be, but this was a totally different Greek person. The other person was more like an Andrew Dice Clay type, and now all of a sudden, he's the dad's from a little village in Greece in Mykonos or something.
Mike's just saying that. Yes, exactly
Stavros
right.
was
That's
the
exactly
cousin.
yes.
The one that looked just like Jesse.
Right.
Yeah, well, they're cousins.
Yeah.
That happens.
But Mike's saying dad changed. Like it was a different dad.
Jesse's
He was from
dad
a different
changed.
place, had a different job.
Yeah. Exopolis was just like one generation
Details.
removed from Greece.
Details. Stugotz, I wanted to ask you about something that we have not gotten to in a couple of days, and I am guessing that most people in our audience, if you've been sports fans for, I don't know, the last 20 years, at some point along the path, you probably stopped caring about the steroid conversation or even blood doping, or somewhere along what you used to believe about sports, you realize that all of these competition freaks are looking for edges wherever it is that they can get them. And we've numbed a bit to the steroid story. DeAndre Hopkins is being quoted as saying he is completely shocked by his positive PED test. I don't know that there is an excuse of any kind by anyone that would be made to be, given our cynicism and skepticism now, anything other than you're lying, this can't be true. Of course, another excuse. I don't believe there's a way for an athlete to be exonerated once they've been suspended like this, no matter what the explanation is anymore.
Well, it's the same excuse every time. It's the go-to excuse when you test positive for PEDs. So I think people are just like, all right, eye roll.
Well, here's some of the details because his agent has said to Adam Schefter in a text message that was copied and pasted and tweeted, DeAndre and everyone who works with him is completely shocked by this finding because he's extremely diligent about what he puts in his body. He's committed to demonstrating that he did not knowingly take a banned substance, and they are currently testing every product he uses to figure out how this could have happened. Here's some of the backstory, because it is being said now, Stugotz, at a pretty great time to be a great wide receiver, that DeAndre Hopkins, his future is in doubt for the following reason in Arizona. It's not just his age. Albert Breer is saying that over the first 8 years of his career, he always played 126 of 128 starts. He missed one game in 2017, another in 2019. But you could say the most reliable thing in the sport at that position was he's going to play and he's never going to drop the ball.
Yep.
He is going to be a very reliable thing. But he turns 30 in June. And when he returns from the suspension, he'll be out for 14 of the previous 16 Cardinal games, and his salary starts ballooning with non-guaranteed payments: $19.45 million, $27.2 million. And then Kyle Murray comes off his rookie contract, and Kyle Murray wants some of that money too. And they just got Hollywood Brown, which I guess they knew this was coming, right? Because the suspension was announced a day. That stuff doesn't happen in a day. They knew that DeAndre Hopkins was gone. They know Kyler Murray's unhappy. They overspent to get Hollywood Brown because they needed to get somebody, as everybody wants wide receivers.
It was really funny that Hollywood Brown showed up at the Cardinals draft party a minute after they announced that trade.
Private plane.
You happened to be there. Yes.
But what do we do, the audience, with the news? Because you're shocked, but is it only shocked as it affects your fantasy team? Or is it only shocked if you're a Cardinals fan? Are you shocked in any way that you want to chase down DeAndre Hopkins with cheater? What are you doing? The name calling that we have assigned, as Alex Rodriguez now works on television for 2 media companies after serving a year ban. Somewhere along the path here, cheating became normalized.
I'm doing the body type thing. I'm shocked because he looked out of shape to me. I got IG ads for this Theragun commercial that he was in, and his body looked straight up flabby. He didn't look like he was taking care of himself. So I was stunned to learn that he was taking a performance enhancer when I would routinely say, dude's out of shape.
You think he looked better?
I immediately if a guy is missing a lot of time and then has a steroid suspension, I am assuming he's desperate to do whatever it is that he can that made him the person that played in 126 of 128 games. And there are healing properties and all of this stuff that gets used. And so I assume that he is guilty. I don't believe any of the excuses that get made because I don't believe the testing is so rigorous. But I look at DeAndre Hopkins and see a player the last couple of years who his body is breaking down because that's a really hard job to do 126 of 128 games.
I mean, he missed 7 games last year.
I know, but he's got an
He had only
assortment.
missed 2 prior to.
I understand that, but I don't know if you can make a sweeping statement saying his body's starting to break down. He missed 7 games.
Okay, but it's
last year.
hamstrings, it's knees, and once this and one. Look, I'm okay.
But Dan, I'll also say this: if indeed he did take PEDs to get himself healthier, to make himself better because he wants to play longer and make money, I don't care. I'm good with it. I know people still care about that. I think not nearly as much as when we first started discussing it. It's become normalized a bit. And perhaps we should ease the stance in terms of penalties and suspensions for doing it. But I don't blame a guy who's doing that when he's 30, 31, just came across his first injury and wants to get back and be out there, be healthy, and make more money. I don't blame him.
If we're looking for motive and we don't want to believe that he put something into his body he had questions about, he was trying to rush back for their playoff game. He ended up missing that playoff game against the Rams, which was a Monday night disaster for Arizona, but he was trying to rush back in time for it.
But Stugotz, like, to the point about, like, you don't care about cheating anymore, I agree with you in that, like, emotionally that didn't resonate with me at all, but I'm starting to wonder if it should, because we will come in here on a Monday morning after a blown pass interference call and have a go at a referee for ruining the competitive integrity of a game, but yet athletes doing that by cheating, by putting substances in their body that make them better than their opposition, not because of their natural talents, but because of what they put in their body, like, it's cheating. And I understand that, like, the baseball steroid chase kind of made that feel a bit futile, but I'm still kind of wondering if that should spark outrage amongst us. Like, why have we become so inured to it?
I think we assume, and unfairly probably, I think we assume that most athletes, especially in that sport, are taking something to make themselves healthier, to get back on the field quicker. And I'm only doing this from a personal standpoint. You're 30, you have about 3 to 5 years left of earning potential, okay? Serious earning potential. And you don't feel like you're the same person you used to be, the same athlete you used to be, the same wide receiver you used to be. So you take something to make yourself.
Cheating.
Yeah. Yes, I'm okay with that. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You don't assume that most guys in the NFL are taking something?
I would assume, given that they at least catch some people, although it was kind of weird that DeAndre Hopkins said that this test came back from November. So that's a bit strange. Their
testing protocol is something that tends to be pretty secretive, and it is not something that you learn about until the suspension has arrived. These things do stay quiet no matter what the information business is. But Stugotz, you objected to me saying his body is betraying him because he's had knees and hamstrings, and once something starts going wrong somewhere, you get a bunch of leg issues and other body parts start failing.
Sure.
But wouldn't you say that a body is betraying you in almost all circumstances if it's a football wide receiver body that has played 126 of 128 games? Just in general, that wear and tear, not Tom Brady, but how many receivers can I give you that I'd give that workload? Julio Jones got old fast, man.
He did. You're right. Yep, that's interesting. I'm Dan. I'm just saying it was 7 games. I'm not saying his body's not breaking down. I'm just saying the year before that, he had 115 catches and 1,500 yards.
Whatever it is that he's headed into, it would no longer be his prime. You'd agree?
Yes, 100%.
Even though he's 30 years old and was the most reliable thing at the position, Stugotz always played, never dropped the ball.
Right. Yeah, and he missed 7 games, and he's at 30. So it would stand to reason that maybe the body is breaking down a little bit. And what do you do if the body's breaking down a little bit and there's millions of dollars at stake? You do whatever you have to do.
Even if you don't want to, though, like make the leap that is, maybe you think that with the advances in science and everything else, athletes can age better, and LeBron can somehow play until he's 39 years old, or Brady can play till 45 because he's really taking care of his body. I'm just legitimately asking you, given now what is happening in the sport, where you've got a tectonic shift where the winning is done, salary cap makes it, parity makes it, schedule makes it, draft makes it, so that the equality is legislated into what you're doing. You've got to find your margins for winning. They are in the margins because everyone's salary capped. And now the wide receiver market is exploding. And the question I'm asking you about DeAndre Hopkins and his future being in doubt after just seeing prices skyrocket, and now more and more, Stugotz, when prices skyrocket, you will see more and more CeeDee Lambs appear, and the game will be changed as they've now redefined who they're valuing in that sport. What age is old and what age is mileage on a wide receiver like DeAndre Hopkins as the payday arrives? Because it's not just DeAndre Hopkins is trying to get back for one last paycheck. Right. DeAndre Hopkins is trying to get the money that Julio Jones isn't going to be able to get by being dominant a little bit earlier than the money got to the position that rewarded that dominance.
So is there an age for wide receivers? Like, we know the age for running backs as you approach 30, but I feel like there's been plenty of wide receivers who have been really good well into their 30s, don't you?
I'm asking you 126 of 128 games more than I'm asking you about 30.
Yeah, it's a lot of games. I mean, it's a lot of tackles, it's a lot of hits, it's a lot of wear and tear on your body. But I just don't know. I feel like people have done that before. I'll have to look it up.
No,
but
I'm sure. Stugotz, I'm asking you. You don't know, but I'm asking you where you assign it, where you put it. When I was surprised to read DeAndre Hopkins' future in doubt. I was surprised to read that fast. It can happen that fast. I wasn't surprised to read about the steroid suspension.
Right.
Anybody in that sport who might be using steroids to heal, or human growth hormone, or whatever, healing properties, whatever it is that's getting your body right, because I'm not willing to endorse cheating the way you are. I understand.
I'm not endorsing it. I understand it. I understand a guy who says to himself, hey, there's a lot of money left on my contract. There's a lot of money left to go get. I'm not the same person I used to be. I got to do what I got to do. Like, I understand that.
There's a desperation involved that would lead competitive people to look at other competitive people who are competing, some of whom they believe to be using the healing properties of the pharmacy, and they too might be tempted. I arrive at understanding it too. The part of it that I thought the audience would be interested in is just how numb we've all become to it. That I don't think the audience receives the DeAndre Hopkins news as much of anything other than, how does this affect my fantasy draft? Not, I want to be pissed off about this because how dare an athlete betray the integrity of the game. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Cardinal fans?
I'm glad it happened now. I'd be pissed if I drafted him and then like 2 days later he got suspended.
The worst.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's why you got to draft, Dan. I know that you're looking into joining fantasy this year. That's why you got to draft as late as possible. Sometimes even opening night. And then what you do is you're doing it. What do you mean no?
Yeah, we do that. We actually they play the Thursday night game, then we draft on Saturday.
It's Labor Day.
Yeah.
Labor Day is draft day.
No, sometimes you do it on a Thursday night. You do it while kickoff's going on. You're watching the first game, and then everybody freaks out and they get like the receiver or the running back that's having like a huge game. And like, oh, I'm going to steal this person in the last round. And then inevitably that person doesn't do shit for the rest of the year, and then you're screwed because you wasted a stupid pick on that person. But yeah, that's how you do it, Dan. You do it like day of. So you guys do Labor Day, huh?
3 days before.
No, I don't like it. I don't like Labor Day draft.
It's like 3 days before, Billy.
No work on Labor Day. That's my rule.
I agree.
Exactly. Not even drafting.
It's not work when you're having fun.
Jerry Rice, after the age of 30, Dan, had 12,274 yards, 913 catches. I mean,
I'd like to go on record because you say it's not work when you're having fun. I have never once had fun in a draft of any kind.
What?
No fantasy draft has ever been fun for me in any sport. Baseball, football, basketball. I think I did hockey one year. Never fun.
Sounds like you weren't prepared.
No, I was prepared. That's the thing.
That's the key to fun?
I was over-prepared. And I had my draft sheets, and then you just have two idiots in your league always that go and pick people out of where they're supposed to go, and then it just snowballs, and everyone's taking quarterbacks in the second round, and then I need to do that or I don't get a quarterback, and then everybody's gone. So all your preparation is for naught because it quickly gets away from you. Dan, I'm telling you, write this stuff down because if you're going to be doing fantasy with us this year like you intimated you wanted to, you're going to have to remember these tips.
First of all, that's not going to happen. Dan's not going to join our fantasy league. That none of you even participated in, by the way. Juju Gotti and I.
That's not true at all.
I was in it.
That's not true at all.
Second of all, it's going to be so embarrassing when I arrive at the Miami Grand Prix with Whittingham and all of his binders on Saturday morning. Yeah. He's going to be so quote unquote prepared. Yeah.
That's the key to a good time, though. I mean,
he's gonna bring like a stapler with him.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Is the key to a good time being prepared?
I want